Today I'm going to put together a simple basic trainer that I got off of Amazon to put my wife's bike on so that we can bike together down in the basement. I'm set up with a direct drive trainer, a smart trainer that connects to the TV, and I've got Zwift and all that. But my wife just wants a simple trainer. She hasn't been doing much biking. She wants to get started and work her way up, and we'll get her something better later. So I got an Alpcour bike trainer from Amazon, just something simple but not terribly cheap. It was about $160. So I'm going to put this together. We're going to put the bike on it and see if this thing's any good and see if it's going to work for us. Looks like it's not much to it as far as assembly. Yeah, let's see what we got here. Feels like it's got a fair amount of quality to it. A little bit of weight. A little bit better to see now. I got rid of my black mat here. Okay, so let's see what we got. Instructions. We got a skewer for the front wheel. The front wheel will sit on this to keep it a little bit higher off the ground. Let's see. A nice bag to put it in. You can travel with it. It's really not that heavy. I don't know, I'd say it's maybe 15 pounds, maybe not even. All right. Yeah, warranty registration. All right, so let's see. Kind of get this opened up here. Okay. And this is your tension cable to increase and decrease the tension on the wheel for resistance. We'll kind of get this out of the way for the moment. So let's see about getting the bike on here. Okay, so simply unfold the frame and unwind the tightening knob to create adequate space between couplings for the rear wheel. Then turn the adjustment knob as far back as it will go. Okay, turn this back all the way. Okay, that's just a lever operated. Okay. Next, it says remove the rear wheel quick release skewer in your bike and replace it with the supplied one. Just so you can see what I'm doing here. All right, so this is the skewer that comes with the bike. And the reason is that the reason you need to put this one on is because this is, first of all, so you don't damage yours, and second of all, because the bike is designed to hold this kind of a skewer. As you'll see, it's going to work something like that. So that's what we're going to do. So we're just going to release this. And we're going to unscrew it. I'm holding this side. I'm just going to unscrew this. Be careful you get that spring there. There's going to be a spring on both sides like that. Make sure you put it back together. Okay, put that aside. Don't lose that because you're going to want to use that when you go outside biking later. All right, and this here, take this off. Take that off, take that spring off. Leave this spring on there. All right. Put it through your wheel and leave that loose for the moment. Put this spring on this way and then screw on the other side. Now you want to, with this lever out like this, not in, but when it's out, you want to just kind of get that snug so that when you go about 45 degrees, you start feeling tension, and when you go all the way, it's going to be pretty tight. So you want it a little tight. You want to have to apply a little bit of force to close this, not a ton of force, but you don't want it too loose. And you want to make sure when you do that, that your wheel is sitting right in the middle, right between these two bars and between these two chainstay bars, to make sure your tires are right in the middle. And then kind of tight, a little bit of pressure there. That's going to hold it on there nice. Make sure your wheel turns freely. The brakes don't really matter. You're not going to need brakes on the trainer. You just want to make sure they're not rubbing. All right. Okay, replace the skewer. Now let's see what's next here. If you have a bolt-through axle, which means there's a bolt, not a skewer with a lever on the end, it tells you how to deal with that. You just put that on there. You don't need to use the skewer. They'll still work with that kind of an axle. Okay, this wheel is in the rear. Okay, make sure you flip this back out of the way as far as it goes. That's going to be important. Put this in. Now there's a pretty big gap there. All right, so we're going to have to move this out some. Okay, so what you want to do, put this in there and then clip that in place. That's going to hold the bike for now, kind of straighten up the bike. And then, so we need to move this out a little bit more. So we'll take it off, move it down a little bit more, just like that. Put it in there, put that in. That's a little bit better. We're going to go a little more. I want it to be a little tighter. Just do one more. In there. That might be good. Now the other thing is this is kind of impinging on the cable from my derailleurs. So when I actually go to ride, I'm probably going to want to make this up above so it's not bent so bad under there. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, that's still a little bit loose. So I'm going to come out another one. Pop it in there. Line up this notch in this wheel with the lever so that it comes in as far as possible. Let's get this over here. You might not need to do that, but that cable, I'm not thrilled with the way that cable was sitting. All right. I think we want to go even a little more than that. Just want this thing to be nice and sturdy. Let's go a whole one. Let's see how that goes. That feels better. I think that's good. All right, then snug this up here. It's going to kind of hold things in place. Now before I actually start adjusting the tension on the tire, Might be a good idea to make sure the tire, this bike's been sitting for a little bit, might be a good idea to make sure this tire is pumped up properly. So you can use a regular hand pump, of course. So I got this rechargeable electronic compressor for bike tires. This is really cool. You can use Presta or Schrader valves. You just set it here to PSI. So it's got different modes on it. So you set the mode for car tire. It's going to go to 35. You can adjust it. You can adjust it manually, but it's going to go to like the average car tire is 35. Go to motorcycle tire, it's going to go to 50. Go to a bicycle tire, it's going to go to 80. It's actually that's what I want. And a basketball, it'll pump up, and that's going to go to like 15. So we're going to go press this until we go to bike tire, that's 80. Again, you can adjust it to whatever you want, but I'm going to make it 80. And I'm going to connect it up to the tire. Nice and snug. All right, so let's turn it on. You can actually just leave that run and it's going to shut off when it reaches the right pressure. Pretty cool. I really love this little thing. Like I said, it takes a little time. It's probably better for topping things off, but it's great. I'll leave a link in the description down below if you want to pick one up. Okay, so now that the tire is at the pressure that we want, put the valve cap back on. Adjust the adjustment knob to make sure the resistance unit touches the rear wheel properly. Do not over tighten. All right, so we're just gonna, so I wanted to zoom in on this. So what we want to do, we want to tighten this up, but we want to make sure, because this is loose, it's not pushing on anything, you want to make sure it goes into this metal hole here. You don't want it to go up against the roller. So tighten it so it goes into that hole. All right, and we just want to snug it so that the tire, just get it to where the tire is touching, because what's going to happen is when you sit on the bike, it is going to put more weight on here, and it's going to be pressing even harder against this roller. All right, so now I'm going to take this. This is the adjustment that's going to go on the handlebar, so you can kind of select different difficulty levels. We'll start at 1. And it just, what it does is it adds resistance down here inside this unit and makes it harder to turn. So we're going to start at 1, and we're going to just connect this to the handlebar using this clamp. Just going to run the cable. We want to make sure the cable doesn't get hung up in the bike anywhere. The other thing we can do is just put the kickstand up and out of the way. I'm going to put the front wheel under this. Not as critical, but you probably want the front wheel to also be at the right pressure, just because you are going to have some weight on it. So we'll go ahead and pump that tire up as well. So now we're just going to find a place to connect this. Probably just put it on here. Kind of like that. You're not going to be adjusting this often, so it just needs to be up here somewhere. Snug that down there a little bit. Excellent. So now I can turn that as needed. So let's put it on selection number 1. And I'm going to get on and try this thing out. All right, I'm going to get on this thing and we'll see how it's going to work. All right, let's see. All right. Yeah, it works pretty good. I mean, it's giving me good resistance. I'm going to switch gears. Man, that's pretty good. I'm going to try. Oh, man, yeah. That's really giving me resistance now. Wow. And it's smooth. Very, very quiet as well. Boy, I think I'm liking this. I think I made a good choice. All right, wow. Smooth, quiet. Okay, I'm going to switch it back to an easier gear for my wife to start off. All right, yeah, that's really awesome. All right, I'm going to put the camera pretty close here. I want to just show you how smooth it is, how quiet it is, and you can see it kind of working. I'll zoom in on it a little bit. I also want you to be able to see me switching the gears to make it a little bit harder as I'm riding on it. So let's see how this works. I think this is going to work out really well. Boy, it is really super quiet. Okay, I'm in top gear. And you know, if you get into a high gear and it's still too easy, you just increase the tension. Wow. And it doesn't make it any, it makes it harder, but it doesn't make it any louder. Boy, this is really fantastic. My wife is going to love this. All right, yeah, so far, highly recommended. $160 Amazon. I think this is going to work great. I'm going to put a Wahoo sensor on here so she can sync it up to her phone, and it's going to tell her how fast and how far she's gone, and we will sync it up with Strava so we can track her progress. All right, so if you found this video helpful, please hit like below, please subscribe. I'm trying to grow my channel and I really appreciate it. Links for the Alpcour trainer and a rechargeable pump and a couple other things will be down in the description. Please check them out, and thank you so much for watching. Okay, and this is the end result right here. I got her up and running, and now we have bikes right next to each other so we can bike together.